And I think the founders were very clear about this. They didn't mince words about the need to have a Second Amendment right to be armed. And it was never stated in their debate that they believed we as Americans have the right to have arms to go hunting. Hunting was irrelevant. It was their concern about tyranny that they were most worried about. And the ultimate protection against tyrants is the arms. And they thought it was very important for them that that tyranny was the king. And yet today, most Americans don't realize that. Unfortunately, too often in Washington, the majority is doing everything they can to undermine that principle. Because anytime there's an incident involving guns, like the one recent incident in Virginia, somebody gets killed, and I made the statement when that occurred. It was the next day or two that more data bank of individuals in Washington D.C. This was protected against all the bad guys. You know, to register all the good guys and it's supposed to help us catch all the bad guys. I've never quite understood that. But that bill came to the floor rather quickly. It came up one morning, no announcement, on suspension, and that means there's going to be no contest. Republican leadership and Democratic leadership agreed to it. Republicans weren't going to oppose it. NRA didn't even oppose it. And that was disappointing. Gun owners, of course, opposed it. And I strongly opposed it. And I went down to the floor, and I was the only one that spoke out against it. And it's not that others might not have, it's just the way that process works. In some ways, it was sort of a lucky thing because I arrived, I happened to be there at the right time, and the staff was alert enough to say, you know what's coming up? I said, no, I know what's coming up. Issues, and they, in ways, dropped it. But subtly, they continue to do the same thing, chip away at the rights of Americans to be armed. One other thing that's happened in this country in the last couple of years, a program that we started that I strongly oppose, and that has to do with compulsory mental health testing. Has anybody ever heard of that program? You've heard of that. And it was something that I opposed, and then a year later I thought I rallied a lot of people around the country to write in and try to get their members to oppose it. Brought it up the next year to cancel that program because it's still in its early stages. And but we haven't been successful. So it is now being started in our schools, and they are finding that the few tests that they have through the process, they have found a significant number of kids that are end up putting on these antidepressants by the state in a way, you know, and they pretend it's parental control talking about, and then putting them into a database. For various reasons, this is very dangerous. One is we show certain tendencies. I mean, they may well put it in our national ID card. Oh, they have tendencies toward violence or something like that. Oh, yes, he has this. He absolutely will never be permitted to own a firearm. And the testing will be worth nothing as far as I'm concerned. But people in Washington too often believe they know what's good for us, and they take it upon themselves to pass legislation like this, and they can just assume take all the guns away from law-abiding citizens. Now, I occasionally, but that's quite seriously, say that we should have gun control. We should have gun control on government bureaucrats. There are now over 100,000 armed bureaucrats who come to harass us. I can't imagine what the founders weren't men. That's not authorized by the Constitution. And yet the founders of the country did not want a police state. And that's essentially what we have. We've allowed our government to get so big. We have rejected the notion that only Congress should pass, the legislation. But here we have courts legislating, and then we have turned over all these bureaucracies to the executive branch, and then they write regulations, and they're the law of the land. And yet we now are at a point where it's absolutely out of control. And then it's an armed state where they come and enforce these laws, always with good intention. people who think that guns should be regulated, for the most part, I don't think they're thinking in their mind, well, we want to do this because we want to have dictatorship. There may be some like that, but no, they say guns kill people. Every American, what your medical conditions are, and everything, your financial conditions, your travel. We've introduced the notion of a national ID card with radio frequency ID in it, and Congress has given the authority to the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security to put whatever he wants on that chip in that ID card without permission of the Congress. And so we live in many ways in a dangerous time. We still on the surface have a lot of prosperity. We still have a fair amount of freedom, but it's dwindling. We can participate in the political process, but it's more difficult all the time if you don't have unity to conform with the leadership in both of the major parties. So it's quite a challenge. But we live in dangerous times, knowing because of the size of government, or because of the financial situation the country is dropping into. Whether it's the runaway wild spending overseas, we're spending up the Constitution is all about. And that's what the Second Amendment is about. We have an obligation to take care of ourselves. We have an obligation to protect ourselves as well. Because the police, the government, they're more likely to use the guns against us. So the guns in private ownership is there to protect us. I think 9/11 was obviously a consequence of a lack of respect for the Second Amendment. This is what the problem was, because the responsibility for protecting passengers on so-called private airlines was put in the hands of the government. They were expecting all of this going on, and we were told we could never resist any terrorist takeover. And the owner of the plane, the owners were prohibited from having guns to protect their cargo. I mean, that was more prohibition in the sense of the armored cars hauling money from one bank to another. I mean, they do a pretty good job. They don't get robbed very often, and terrorists aren't going after them. But here we have a situation it's simply impossible to do without, fire and flames and heating and precise mixture, and the odds of that happening. But because somebody says theoretically that's what we like to do, just think of what we were doing to ourselves. The other day I got on an airplane, and I have some metal in my leg, so I have to go through scanning every time. So I open the belt, and you got to take your belt off. I've done this 700 times. Nobody's ever made me take my belt off. They go, oh yeah, new rules, that we're going to have to do this. And technology is available for security at the airlines to do responsibility. I've seen some technology come in to really explain how they should know every one of us being on that airplane without any accumulation of information. So my concern is the ease with which the American people have given up their liberties in order to feel more secure. And